Namaskar students. So in last lecture I have introduced the concept of electromotive forces in the circuit, and we have seen that electromotive forces basically provide a force on the charges which because of which charges move from one point to another point and then current flow in the circuit. And this electromotive forces was generated due to the source, means what kind of source we are using to create a force. And we have seen that battery, and we all are familiar with the battery, so that is why I have given an example of battery. So in case of battery, chemical energy is converted into an electrical energy, and this converted electrical energy, electric field, that is a non-conservative in nature. And because of that non-conservative nature of electric field, net force act on the charges, and because of that, and that is basically source force, and because of that source force charges move, or we can say that later on we have learned that potential difference is created within the battery, and because of the potential difference charges used to move from one point to another point, from one terminal to another terminal of battery, then current flow in the circuit. But in today's lecture I did not mention, in last lecture I did not mention the most common EMF which can be generated by the generator, or that is also known as the motional EMF, or one can say that motion of the circuit. Okay, it means that the basic principle of this motional EMF is that if you have a wire, okay, or a circuit, and if you apply a uniform magnetic field, okay, and then in uniform magnetic field, if this wire is moving or rotating, okay, or moving or rotating, whatever some kind of motion is doing, then an electromotive forces is generated within the circuit. So this is the new concept what I am building up now to you. So in last part we have learned that electromotive forces was generated due to the applied battery because of the chemical energy, conversion of chemical energy into an electrical energy, and the non-conservative nature of this electrical energy, electrical force, develop a potential difference at the terminal of the battery, and then current flow within the circuit. But in this series of lectures, in this series of topic, I am introducing another topic, that is motional EMF. Means one can say that electromotive forces can be generated just by the application of motion of a circuit, a motion of a wire in the presence of uniform magnetic field. Okay, so here let us say we have a wire, and this wire is moving in this direction, okay, and magnetic field is in this direction, and if you see the displacement, okay, so let us say the length of the wire is along this direction, so force will work because of the motion of this wire in presence of magnetic field. So we know that force, that Lorentz force, that is equal to F is equal to Q V cross B. Let us assume that this wire is a conductor. It means if you have a conductor, it means charges will be present. It means along with the motion of this conductor, charge will also move. It means the motion of a charged particle in a magnetic field. So we know that in that case we can write the magnetic field, that is because of the Lorentz force. So that F magnetic force on the charges which are in the conductor, that can be written as a F is equal to QV cross B. Why I am writing this? Because if you see, one can find out the EMF which is generated in presence of magnetic field due to the motion of this wire. That EMF is equal to that line integral of closed path, that is Fs dot dl, where Fs is the source force per unit charge. Means what is the source of force within the circuit, means per unit charge, then line integral of that that is known as the EMF. Okay, so that can be read source force per unit charge and line integral of that will give the EMF. So if you see here, if you try to understand what is the source of force, if you see source of force is the basically magnetic, because in presence of magnetic field, if charge is moving, a magnetic force will work. So we can write that Fs is equal to F magnetic, where this small f magnetic is the force per unit charge. So we know from Lorentz force is equal to QV cross B, or we can write F vector, capital F vector is equal to QVB sin theta in normal unit vector. That means this force will be always perpendicular to the direction of velocity and magnetic field. If you see here in this diagram, wire is moving in this direction and magnetic field is in this direction. Means velocity of charged particle, a velocity of the wire, and the magnetic field are perpendicular. It means that force will be always perpendicular to the V cross B. That means force will be along this direction. That is the normal. It means the angle between V cross B, VB, that is equal to 90 degrees. We can write sin theta is equal to 1. So, or we can write F is equal to QVB, or simply QV cross B as I have written. If we try to find out the F magnetic, okay, that F magnetic will be equal to, that is F magnetic, capital F magnetic divided by Q, that is V cross B. Okay. So now if you calculate the EMF due to the motion of the circuit, a motion of this wire in magnetic field, that can be written as a, now we know that is EMF is equal to line integral of closed path Fs dot dl, and Fs is equal to F magnetic to line integral of F magnetic dot dl. The value of F magnetic, we have that is V cross B. So we can write, if you see the length of this wire, that is from A to B, so we can write that line integral B to A, V cross B dot dl. If you see here, dl is the displacement vector and V cross B is the force. If you see in the diagram, the force will be perpendicular to the V cross B, okay, and if you see displacement vector and force vector, both are in the same direction, means displacement and force are parallel. So that means we can write V cross B dl cos theta, we can write VB dl cos theta, and cos theta is equal to 0, so cos 0 is equal to 1. We can write EMF is equal to BV integral B to A dl, and where if you integrate that is the length of the rod. If you see the length of the rod, that is L, so we can write that EMF is equal to, BV into L. That is the magnetic field and velocity of the wire, the velocity of the charged particle, and length of the wire. Okay, that is basically known as the EMF generated within the wire when it is moving with some velocity. So this EMF is known as the motional EMF. And let us try to understand another example of motional EMF. So this kind of motional EMF is known as, basically this circuit is also known as the generator, alternating current generator. And here in this circuit, let us say we assume that we have a magnetic field in this let us say rectangular area, and magnetic field is pointing into the page. So I have written magnetic field into the page, okay, and then we have some loop kind of arrangement, and this loop is connected with a resistance. This resistance may be bulb, may be fan, may be anything, just measuring the current or anything, or voltage, okay, and some part of this loop is present into the magnetic field, and some part is outside of the magnetic field. Let us say the part which is inside the magnetic field, that is A, B, C, D of width x, okay, and height, length, that is h, and out of the remaining part, that is outside of the magnetic field, and outside of this part, their resistance is R is connected. And if somehow, if any person or by any arrangement, if you are able to pull this circuit, okay, with velocity V, then one can observe a current will flow across the resistor. Then the question arises, from where this current is originating, from where this current has come into the circuit. If you have a bulb, the bulb will lead here. Okay, if you have a bulb, the bulb will lead here. That means from where this current is now flowing within the bulb, then why this bulb is leading. So in order to understand that, and this answer can be given on the basis of motional EMF. So let us try to understand. So magnetic field is pointing into the page. Okay. So as we have learned in case of previous case, when circuit is moving with velocity v, so we understand there is a motional EMF. Here we know that EMF can be defined as a line integral of closed path fs dot dl, where fs is the source force per unit charge. Okay. So if you see here, what is the source of force on the charges? Because let us say this is conductor, so this wire is conductor. It means wire is conductor, means there are charges are present on the wire. Okay. So obviously, when this in presence of magnetic, because this wire is moving in presence of magnetic field, so as we have learned in previously, it means the force will be magnetic. So we can write the source of force of EMF, that can be written as F magnetic, or that can be written as a capital F magnetic upon Q, that is V cross B, where V is the velocity of the circuit, velocity of the wire, and B is the magnetic field, uniform magnetic field. Okay. So if we try to calculate F magnetic, so we know that we can write this V cross B, that is VB sin theta normal unit vector. It means that this force will be, this small f magnetic will be always perpendicular to the direction of velocity and magnetic field. Okay. So let us assume that in the circuit, this is the x direction, this is the, let us say this is x direction. Okay, this is x direction, and let's say this AB, this wire is expanded in y direction, so this is y direction. Let us assume that this is x direction. Okay, and this is y direction, and let us assume that this is point outside of the page, that is z direction. So point into the page, that will be the minus z direction. Okay. So if you see this, so we can find out what is the direction of force. Okay. So if we try to find out the direction of force, so we can write theta. If you see here, magnetic field is along the into the page, so that is along the z direction, minus z unit vector direction, and velocity v is along the x direction. So we can write F magnetic is equal to VB x unit vector cross product with minus z unit vector. This B is along the minus z and x is along the plus x unit vector. So that means if you try to find out the F magnetic, that will be equal to VB plus y unit vector, that is because x cross y unit vector will minus y unit vector, that will be equal to y unit vector, x unit vector cross minus z unit vector, that is giving the y unit vector. Okay, that means force will be along the positive y direction. Okay. So if you now calculate the force which is acting on the segment of the circuit, so which is in the magnetic field, so this if you see, so this portion of the circuit, that is AB and BC, and this AD, this portion of the circuit is in the magnetic field, and this C to D, this portion, that is outside of the magnetic field. Okay. So in order to find out this EMF, what we know, we required that line integral of Fs dot dl. So we can write here, Fs is the magnetic, so we can write that is EMF is equal to line integral of closed path F magnetic dot dl, and this line integral closed path can be can be written in terms of different can be in different segment, like AB to BC to CD to DA. Okay. If you do that, if you write A to B And if you look here, A to B, for the A to B, A to B, that is along the y direction, okay, and the displacement is along the y direction, and in this case we have calculated that magnetic force that is also along the y direction, okay. That means displacement vector and the magnetic force per unit charge both are along the y direction, and magnetic field is pointing into the page, that is along the minus z direction. So if for this case, for AB segment, force and magnetic field both are the same direction, so this will survive. And for this case BC, the displacement is along the plus x unit vector, but force that is along the plus y direction. So y unit vector dot x unit vector, that is equal to 0. So this magnetic EMF due to this term, that will not survive BC. Similarly, if you see C to D, okay, so outside of the magnetic, this is basically outside of the magnetic field. So we can say that because of the outside of the magnetic field, this part will not survive. And D to A, if you see, again force is along the y direction and displacement is along the minus x direction. Again this will term equal to 0 because both are perpendicular. So that what I am going to do here, if you see clearly. So for segment A to B, DL displacement is along the DL y unit vector. For BC, DL along the x unit vector. For DA, that is along the DL x minus x unit vector. DL CD, for that is along the minus y unit vector. If you consider only this part, so that is basically because of this part or only this CD part, both are the same. If you do that, so A to B, that is F magnetic, that is VB y unit vector into DL. For CD, that DL is equal to DL y unit vector plus B to C, we know that magnetic force, that is VB into y unit vector, we have already done, dot DL x unit vector, okay. For C to D, VB y unit vector plus dot product DL minus y unit vector plus D to A, VB y unit vector minus DL x unit vector, okay. If you see here this term will become equal to 0 because y dot x unit vector is equal to, both are perpendicular, so that will be equal to 0. Similarly, this term here, magnetic field is equal to 0, so this term become equal to 0. Similarly, for A to B D part, that is again y and minus y dot and x dot unit vector both are perpendicular, that will be equal to 0. So out of this whole circuit, this term B to C, C to D and D to A, these terms will vanish. Only the segment of the circuit which is A to B, this segment will give a EMF within the circuit, okay. So if you do that, then EMF in the circuit, that can be written as A to B BVDL y unit vector dot y unit vector. So this will give 1. So BV is equal to A to B DL, and A to B DL, if you integrate A to B, that is what? That is the height of the length of the circuit. So that is H. So we can write that is BV into H. So this is due to the motion of the circuit in a uniform magnetic field. So because of this EMF, and we have learned previously that this EMF is basically equal to the potential difference in the circuit. If there is potential difference in the circuit, okay, if there is a potential difference in the circuit, it means we have developed a potential difference between the circuit. Because of the potential difference, now if you have potential and we have resistance, so we can find out how much current will be there. So current will be equal to I is equal to V upon R, so that is EMF upon R. So if you find out the current for this circuit, so EMF we have already known, that is BVH and upon R, so that will give the current, okay, BVF into the current, so that will give the current. So let us try to here. So here I have written the BVH. The current I have not calculated, but you can do the current. So if we move forward, so we can examine, I will introduce a new concept now. So we have learned earlier also the concept of magnetic flux through a loop. So here in this case also, if you see ABCD, a loop is there, and this loop is basically present into the magnetic field, okay. So this ABCD A, so this part of the loop, this part of the circuit is basically present into the magnetic field when we are moving this circuit with velocity v. So basically this area of the loop is changing. Okay, so we can define a new quantity now, that is known as the introduce a new quantity, new concept, that is introducing a magnetic flux through loop. So this phi is denoted as a phi b, that is flux of B. Okay, so flux of B we know that is defined as a surface integral of B dot dA, where B is the magnetic field B vector and dA is the area vector. In the present circuit case, B is along the minus z unit vector direction. We know that B is minus z unit vector direction, and area vector, if you see for this, so area vector, that is we are basically moving A to B to C to DA, A, B, C, D in this direction. Okay, that means in this direction, that means area will also point into the minus z unit vector direction. If we have in this direction, then area should point into the plus z direction, but we are moving in this direction, so that is area vector will be along the minus z direction. Okay, so if you do that, so means B and dA are in the same direction, so we can find out the phi b, flux of B, that will be equal to B area of the dA, area x, that is the part of the loop within the magnetic field, x width, and h is the height of the loop, so area will be h into x. So this will be BHX. So phi b will be equal to BH into x. Now if we, because this loop is moving with the velocity v, okay, loop is moving with the velocity v. If you see here, so this loop is moving with velocity v, that is here. So loop is moving with velocity v. It means the number of field line which is passing through the A, B, C, D, A area, that is also changing with time, because here velocity can be written as this length divided by time. That means the number of flux is changing with respect to time. Okay, so now I am introducing the concept of time. Okay, as I discussed in the case of introductory lecture, that is electrodynamics or the time varying phenomena. Yes, now here time varying phenomena has come. So if you integrate the flux of B with respect to time, what we have calculated, flux of B, that is phi b. So if you differentiate with respect to t, del d phi b upon del t is equal to B h dx upon dt, and this dx upon dt, that is what? That is the velocity of the loop, the velocity of the circuit in the x direction, x component. And remember, when the circuit is moving in the x direction, the total flux which is passing through the loop A, B, C, D, A, that is also a decreasing. Okay, that means del phi upon del t, that can be written as del phi b upon del t, that can be written as B h into V, but because of decrease of the flux, we can put a minus sign here. Okay, and this minus sign reflects that total flux within the loop that is decreasing. This is also telling, this also tells a very nice physics, I will explain later. Okay, so the del phi b upon del t, that can be written as a minus BHV, and if you remember this BHV, that is equal to what? That is equal to the EMF generated into the loop in the circuit. If you see, go back, here we have seen that is the EMF in the circuit. So here if you see, so what we have calculated, that is EMF is equal to BV into BH into V. Okay, so that means del phi b upon del t, here this del phi b upon del t, that is equal to minus E, or EMF in the loop, EMF in the circuit, that can be written as a minus del phi upon del t. So EMF in a motional circuit, EMF due to motion of a circuit in presence of magnetic field, that can be written as a rate of change of flux, okay, within the closed area. that E EMF is equal to minus del phi upon del t, and this rule is known as the flux rule of motional EMF. So this formula that E is equal to minus del phi B upon del t is known as the flux rule of motional EMF. That means the EMF generated in the loop is minus the rate of change of flux through the loop. Okay. So it means one can generate electromotive forces in a circuit if circuit is a closed and in presence of magnetic field. To rate of, if we are able to find out the total change in flux with respect to time, so total rate of change of flux in the time with respect to time, and minus of that will give the EMF within the circuit. And because of that, we observed that current is flowing into the resistance, a voltage can be developed or potential difference is developed, and because of the potential difference current is flowing into the circuit. If you have a bulb, the bulb will lit in because of the motion of the circuit. So as I promised that this negative sign in EMF, this resembles a very nice physics also. So you might have learned in your 10 plus 2 classes, that is the Lenz law. So what is Lenz law? That Lenz law tells that the nature averts a change in the flux. Means nature does not like to change our flux in any circuit, in any closed loop. Okay. That means, let us say if we plot flux with respect to time, so where there will be change in the flux, okay, wherever there will be change in the flux in the nature, and nature will oppose that particular change by developing an EMF opposite to the direction of change of the flux. So here this is time, this is phi b. So if you see here flux is changing, and here flux is not changing, and again here flux is changing. Here flux is increasing, and here flux is decreasing. Okay. So if you see EMF, so EMF in the circuit is developed in such a way that it will oppose the increase of the flux. Here if it is increasing the flux, so EMF will develop in the opposite direction just to oppose the increase of the flux. So that is why here minus EMF is developed. And here if you see flux is decreasing, again it will, nature will oppose the decrease of the flux, so EMF will develop in the positive direction. If there is no change in the flux, there will be no EMF. So one can say that when, if you see here again, if you come back, here flux was changing, del phi b upon del t was changing, means this flux was decreasing with respect to time. So decrease of this flux will be opposed by the nature of the circuit. So that is why this minus sign comes because of the property of the Lenz law of the circuit. Okay. So this is what we have learned in case of motional EMF. So here what we have considered that magnetic field was uniform in this case, and whatever the loop we have considered, the circuit, this circuit have some square loop or rectangular loop. Okay. But what will happen if we have a non-uniform magnetic field, maybe, or maybe the circuit, the area what you have enclosed in a magnetic field, which is enclosing magnetic flux, that may be not defined, that may be not square, or that may not be a rectangle, that may be anything, maybe parallelogram, may be anything, but area may be bounded. Okay. Here also circuit is moving, there also circuit may be moving, but here the area is defined with a square or rectangle. But what I am going to do now in the next lecture, in this series, in this connection only, that when what will be the flux, change of flux or EMF when the area which is enclosed in a magnetic field a magnetic field line enclosed in a bounded area if the area is not defined with a square or rectangle, maybe not a, means area have any arbitrary shape. Okay. So we learned that whenever a circuit is moving in a presence of magnetic field, so there is basically change of flux, and because of the change of flux, an EMF also develop, and that EMF will be equal to, we know that is minus rate of change of flux with respect to time. So that is the EMF. Means that EMF means that potential difference is developed in the circuit. Now I will take another example to you, that is the motional EMF, but the loop is not defined. Maybe loop is stretchable, maybe a non-rectangular loop I have written, or a moving circuit that is also moving circuit. Here circuit is also moving with a not defined loop, maybe non-rectangular loop. Okay, then what will be the EMF? I hope you understood what I wanted to say. Means as the circuit is moving, the loop which is bounding the magnetic field lines, that is not defined, that is stretchable. Okay, that's what I wanted to say. So if you, let us say we have a circuit, okay, this is circuit, and this circuit is moving with the velocity v in this direction. If you see, so this is the direction of velocity. So in this direction circuit is moving with velocity v, and magnetic field is present, let us say pointing into the page, and this magnetic field may be uniform, maybe not uniform, both cases may be there, maybe uniform magnetic field, maybe not uniform magnetic field, but that will not change. Okay, and this is the displacement vector along this direction, and this is the velocity vector along this direction. So if you, let us say if you draw a tangent on this circuit, so this is displacement vector and this is velocity vector. So this length can be written as velocity moving with velocity v. So this can be written as a velocity vector into t. So that will give the length, and this is the dl vector. So this is length and this is length. Okay, and but both length are not equal in this case, and the angle between these two vectors, that is theta. So here I have plotted. So this is dl displacement vector, and this is the velocity vector, length due to velocity. Okay, so this is theta. So if you try to find out the area of this circuit, area of this non-rectangular loop, so that can be written as a v vector into dt cross dl. That will be the v vector into dt cross dl. So that is, I have written area vector dA vector, that can be written as a, this is length, v vector into dt, v into dt, that is length. So v vector dt into a cross product dl, that is a area vector. So we can write dA vector is equal to v cross dl into dt. And now if you try to find out, because this magnetic field is present, circuit is moving with velocity v, okay, then we can find out, obviously there will be a EMF generated due to the motion of the circuit in presence of magnetic field. And obviously the source of EMF, a source of force which is working on the charge on the conductor. Basically this is conductor, this circuit is conductor. So this conductor have charges, so that will be magnetic. So that is why I have written the source of force on the charges, per unit charges, that is equal to magnetic, small f magnetic. In this capital F can be written as that Lorentz force, that F is equal to q v cross b. So small f magnetic can be written as capital F divided by q, that is v cross b. Okay. So if we write the EMF can be written as a line integral of closed path f magnetic dot dl vector is equal to line integral of closed path v cross b dot dl vector, where this v cross b dot dl, v cross b, that is basically the f magnetic force per unit charge which is acting on the circuit, in the circuit. So here we have v cross b dot dl. Let us say we have three vector a cross b cross a b c. So if we write, we know that from scalar triple product we know of a vector, that is a dot b cross b, a dot b cross c, that can be written exactly equal to b dot c cross a, that is exactly equal to c dot a cross b. So we can write this vector v cross b dot dl, if you see, that is EMF. So how one can simplify this EMF? So we know that what we have known quantity, we are known with the area vector. If you see, area vector is v cross dl into dt, but here we have v cross b dl. So we cannot write this EMF in terms of area vector. Okay, that is what I am going to do now. So from this vector identity, that is scalar product of three vectors. So this A dot B cross C, that will be exactly equal to B dot C cross A, or that is exactly equal to C dot A cross B. That means this V cross B dot DL, that can be exactly written as B dot DL cross V. Okay, this V cross B dot DL, that can be exactly written as B dot DL cross V. Okay, so if you substitute, so this F magnetic will be equal to, that is line integral of closed path B dot DL cross V, and we know this DL cross V is equal to, if you see, that is minus V cross DL, that is A cross B is equal to minus B cross A. Why? Because area vector is basically, that is V cross A. Area vector is basically, that is V cross DL, but what we have DL cross V. We have DL cross V, but what we require V cross DL. So that is why I can write minus V cross DL cross V is equal to minus V cross DL. So if you do that, then EMF will be equal to minus, because of this line integral of closed path B dot V cross DL, and we know that V cross DL is equal to, if you see here, so that is basically equal to area vector divided by time. Here if you see, V cross DL is equal to, we can write dA upon dt, that is area vector upon time. So that means if we write EMF, E will be equal to minus phi minus line integral of closed path B dot dA upon dt, dA vector upon dt, or this dt can d upon dt can be taken out, that is basically scalar. So we can write up E is equal to minus d upon dt line integral of closed path B dot dA vector, and this is what, if you see, B dot line integral of closed path, that is not line, that is surface, now surface integral, because sorry, that becomes surface integral. So surface integral of B dot dA, that is basically what, that is a phi B, that is a magnetic flux of B. So this means this EMF of the circuit, that can be written as a minus del phi B upon del T. Okay, that means this gives a very interesting result, very interesting conclusion, that whenever a circuit is moving in the magnetic field, so whatever loop we are having, means in the magnetic field, that loop need not be even maintain a fixed shape for generating the EMF. Means in order to generate the EMF, it is not necessary that whatever loop we have, that should be square or circle or rectangle or any shape. Means even shape may be not maintained. Okay, of any arbitrary shape, if you have a closed loop, that will generate a EMF. That is the conclusion. And conclusion is what? If you have any closed loop in a magnetic field and the circuit is moving and a loop is moving, then that will generate an EMF because of the motional EMF. Okay, that is the conclusion. And this conclusion is can also be supported from the Gauss law of magnetism, that is del divergence of B is equal to 0, we know. If divergence of B is equal to 0, that means if we take the surface integral of this divergence of B, so from Stokes law we can volume integral, that is divergence of B dV dt, and then from Stokes theorem we can convert this that into surface integral. So this will give the surface integral of B dot dA, that will be also equal to 0. That means this surface integral B dot dA, because the divergence of B is equal to 0, that means surface integral B dot dA is equal to 0 and surface integral B dot dA is equal to phi. That means this phi will be same for the all surfaces with a given boundary line. Whatever surface you have, whatever shape you have, that doesn't matter, that will give a flux, okay, and that flux will be same for all surfaces, and because of that, that will generate the EMF within the circuit. So till now what we have learned in this lecture, so I have introduced the concept of EMF, electromotive forces, due to the motion of the circuit, a motion of the wire in the presence of magnetic field. So we have I have taken first example of a wire when it is moving in a magnetic field. Then we have learned that there is a motional EMF, that is BV into L, that is height of the length of the wire, and V is the velocity of the wire, and V is the magnetic field. Then I have taken a closed circuit kind of things in a magnetic field, and this we are pulling the circuit, and the total enclosed area that was present in the magnetic field of the circuit, that was the rectangle or square, that was defined shape. Then again we have seen that is giving EMF that is equal to BV into H, where V is the velocity, H is the height of the loop, the height of the circuit, width of the circuit, and V is the magnetic field. And this EMF that can be exactly equal to the change of the flux that circuit encloses in a magnetic field, enclosed area, that is A, B, C, D, A we have seen. So we have written that the EMF in the motional circuit that can be exactly equal to the minus rate of change of flux, okay. And now again then we have calculated EMF for a non-rectangular circuit, non-rectangular loop, or a stretchable circuit, okay. Means as the circuit is moving, the loop is changing, because if you see here the circuit is moving in this direction. If you try to find out the force QV cross B, the velocity is in that direction, magnetic field is along this direction. So obviously the force will be somewhere along this direction, perpendicular to the V and V. So that means that will stretch the circuit, and that will stretch the circuit. That means that will be the loop, which is present in the magnetic field, that is not a defined shape. And then again we have seen that is again generating a EMF that is again equal to the rate of change of the magnetic flux, and we have concluded that whatever shape of the flux, whatever the shape of the loop will be there, that will not change the flux, and that is why that will not change the EMF. Thanking you very much for listening. If you have any query, any doubt, any suggestions, please feel free to write on my YouTube channel. Thanking you very much for listening.